Many people are saying, and I agree, that I think Nintendo really got it right this time in terms of the R&D. The UI is really cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, a week in, being there at launch, you sort of feel like a product tester when you buy something early on.
Yeah, especially with Nintendo.
Yeah.
They have the habit of being like kind of, erasing a sentence or two or, rolling back or adding something very soon. But yeah, it's numbers-wise, this is the fastest-selling Nintendo console in history. Like,
yeah,
I can't even get it
really
out.
Well.
That feels like an unnatural sentence to say in 2017.
Sounds like the Wii U is a thing of the past. So now you've been playing your Nintendo Switch for a week, and you probably love a lot of stuff about it, but you probably don't love some stuff about it too. And in case you want to arm yourself with a good list of those things, we put that together for you today. So here are 20 things we love and hate about Nintendo Switch, starting with we love the controllers. These controllers are great. Let's take a look at some of them. The configurations here are awesome. You've got the Pro Controller, the Joy-Cons, the Joy-Con grip, the charging grip. They work as independent controllers on their own. The Pro Controller works for 70 hours. However, we hate that some people are still having Joy-Con connectivity issues. We thought this would get fixed with a patch. Apparently it's helped some people. I'm not running into stuff as much as I was earlier, but it's still happening with some people. Anecdotally, some people are saying it's the neon ones are having more problems. Other people are saying the gray ones. It's a problem.
All right.
We love that we finally got a Nintendo handheld with a multi-touch screen. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful.
We've gotten 3DSs in the past, DSs in the past, Wii U's in the past, all with touch screens.
Yeah.
Nothing like this.
But the funny thing is, I kind of forget that it's a capacitive multi-touch screen because we've been playing Zelda and that has no features.
Yeah,
Didn't use it.
Which we hate. That's very stupid. We love clicking the little Joy-Cons into place. They feel really nice. These Joy-Con straps are cool. They sort of add an extra element to it.
They're not cool. They're not cool. They're
okay. They
work. They work. They're
Yeah.
nice, but they're not cool.
This is the love. It says love in the
Okay,
corner.
fine. I just want to say they're not cool.
We hate these little things because they always get stuck.
Also, yeah, that's one of those processes you just feel like you're going to break your new toy.
Yes.
Like it doesn't. The snapping them on feels great. Snapping them off, you're like, am I gonna ruin this?
I had to watch a
nice-
YouTube tutorial on how to get
Yeah.
one of these things off, which is not good. We love that this thing supports up to 2 terabyte SD cards. Right now I have a 256 gig in there. 2 terabyte SD cards haven't really even been invented yet. Like they're real, but they're not out there. But
Yeah, I
one
like
day
that you had to use regular SD cards because
multiply it
micro
by
SD cards don't actually exist. So that's kind of cool to see it future-proofed in that sense. Also, I mean, you've got your 3DS that's just full of old Nintendo games.
Yep.
You're going to fill this thing up, so that's awesome.
So that being said, I hate that you can't actually transfer data from your Switch to the SD card because I didn't put an SD card in there to begin with, downloaded a bunch of stuff to the internal hard drive, and I can't carry them over. You also can't use your SD card from system to system. So in case you have 2 systems or whatever it is, I mean, those are edge cases, but still.
Also, like save files and things like that, it'd be cool to back that all up.
I love that you can access any region's eShop right now. I went into the Japanese eShop. I built an account through My Nintendo. Took about 5 minutes, and I downloaded a bunch of demos, Puyo Tetris, and a bunch of other things. It's really cool. You can play Master Blaster and Metal Slug, all these other games early. But I hate that when you buy something on the eShop, you have to re-enter your credit card every single time. On the 3DS, you could assign a PIN and basically never have to really deal with it again. But this thing, every single time you have to do it again. You also can't really buy stuff on foreign eShops with ease without getting points cards. So you'll have to set up a Japanese Amazon account to do all that.
Man, I feel really bad for this cardholder fellow. His information has been compromised.
Yeah, his
Avert your eyes. The screen is covered with personal information.
I love the simple and minimalist user interface. The UI is great. It's clicky, it's smart, it's sharp and fast. It's very, very different than something like the 3DS or the Wii U, which felt clunky and slow.
It doesn't have little men walking all over it.
Yeah, this is just great. It's really clean. I really like it. I hate that when you dock it to a TV, the interface is 720p.
Yeah.
Well, why?
That seems very odd. That's a very odd choice.
Games are running between 900p and 1080p, so I don't really understand why the UI itself is 720. Doesn't look great on a new TV.
Well, I mean, JPEGs are pretty high profile. They use a lot of resources, so they got to kind of dull this down.
Yes, very true. I love that it's getting cool, smaller indie games like Puyo Puyo Tetris and Rhyme. Hard to say those words because they sound fake, because they are. That said, for some reason, there's a sort of Switch tax that we're seeing with certain games. Rhyme and Puyo Tetris both were announced at $39.99 instead of $29.99, which is kind of ridiculous. Now, the digital versions in some cases are cheaper, but the physical versions, which you might want if you're a collector, are more expensive than they are on PS4. Why? No one knows. Hard to even explain.
Yeah.
Keep going. We love Connecting to a Wi-Fi feels a little quicker, a little easier. The 3DS had a major problem where you'd bring it on a trip or a hotel. You couldn't actually connect to anything. Seems a little bit better now. We hate the fact that people are having massive Wi-Fi issues with it regardless. Someone like Andrew Goldfarb, who works here in a couple of the Switch units here at IGN, were actually not really capable of connecting at all unless the dock was hardwired.
Weird.
Which is very odd.
That's very strange.
Also, most people aren't getting more than 1 or 2 bars on it, which I think is definitely a problem. I love that gorgeous games like Zelda on this beautiful screen are just phenomenal. It's seriously one of the prettiest things I've ever played. You've probably got a nicer screen on your phone, but it doesn't have controls on the side, and it doesn't have Zelda. It probably has like Legend of Zelda or some bootleg garbage like that. Yeah, don't bother with that. That being said, I hate that when you dock this thing to a TV, it starts getting frame rate hookups, especially in Zelda.
Yeah, it's kind of odd to be like, hey, it's a great new console you can take anywhere, but when you use it like an actual console, it actually performs worse. That's very strange.
Last but not least, I love switching between handheld mode and console mode. Max, you and I took a trip the other day where we got to fly a bunch in one day, and one of our flights got delayed, and we sat around playing Zelda all day. Then I brought it home, hooked it up to my TV when the batteries were about to die, and kept going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty much exactly what this thing was designed for.
When you're hooking it up to your TV, you gotta be really careful.
Yeah.
Because people are scratching them up on the dock that came included with the product.
Yeah,
so,
which makes no sense. That's an R&D design that I think, or that's a R&D design is redundant. But it's a design flaw, right? Like the fact that putting the thing into the thing scratches the thing, that's being highly technical right there.
Yes, that's what it says in the patent.
It says, don't put the thing in the thing, it'll scratch the thing. It's definitely a problem. So 1 week in, right here, Brian and Max, for Nintendo Switch. I really, really love this thing.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to see how it grows. I think that the shop is going to grow. I think the UI is going to grow. The library is going to grow. This thing's going to change and evolve.
And the fact that I think a lot of both consumers and publishers and just really everybody are kind of holding their breath to see how it was going to perform in the wild, and the fact that it is the fastest selling Nintendo piece of hardware that's awesome. It's taken off. That means that there's probably going to be a massive kind of opening of floodgates of third-party support and indie support and everything coming soon. I don't know if it's going to be immediate, but at the very least, I'm sure Nintendo will have stuff to show off at E3.